going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's theys thems, whatever you want to be. I don't know. You know what? You gotta open it up to everybody. You gotta be
All the
welcoming.
people.
All the peoples. The
What
peoples.
the people? Do not start singing Imagine. I will punch you in the throat.
I wasn't gonna even sing that one.
Okay, good. Don't.
I was gonna do Marilyn Manson's "The Beautiful People."
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yes.
But I knew Marilyn when he was Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. Did you know him back then?
That was before all the.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
In the dive bar in Florida near you. I saw him. I paid $12 to see him the first time.
But that was before, like, he wore a top hat and shit like that, right?
Something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was pretty drunk.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, fair.
But it's
And
before,
it was
before.
It was
all
a
the
dive
makeup and
down
everything.
bar. Oh yeah. Well, no, he wasn't doing any of that crazy shit because
Yeah.
he wasn't. He was still trying to figure out what he was. I think.
So we were having some good conversations before we jumped into today. It is March 22nd.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. We are. What are we? Where are we at? 2 months now into Trump's. Oh, and guess who's here?
Dad.
Guess who's here?
Oh damn, Dad's here.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Everybody's least favorite Coast Guard. Right
Oh,
out
play
there.
nice. Everybody likes him. I like him. At least he doesn't eat crickets like you freaking army dudes.
Well, at least we don't sing Baby Shark. Do, 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 do.
Oh god.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with Baby Shark.
Yeah, actually, it opens the portal, dude. Don't do it. You guys are killing me with that shit.
You have to sing it backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise the portal stays open.
Sing Baby Shark backwards with Nirvana playing backwards at the same time. Yeah.
One of these days, man, Cthulhu's gonna come through and you won't be laughing no more.
Oh man! So we just kicked it off. We just started talking about Marilyn Manson and all of his fun stuff. Realistically, I was just saying hi to the people, and then
Hi.
and then we got into Imagine and Marilyn Manson. So yeah, just completely like way off the rails.
ADHD is kicking
Yeah.
in hard today.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys follow Marilyn Manson back in the 90s?
I saw
He
him.
was
about
just talking.
I
just
saw
talking about
him in a dive bar in Florida when he
Okay.
was Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids.
Okay.
That's how long I've been following him. Yeah. I'm a
The
fan.
top hat and no makeup.
Yeah, this is when he was still a dude and, kind of making up.
Well, and because his whole deal was like, if you meet him or if you see him in person,
Yeah.
like he just looks like a normal person. But like
Sometimes.
sometimes. But I remember learning about like when I was going through some of my like business high school stuff, learning about like how smart his marketing programs were, like
Oh,
what
yeah.
he was doing for his like culture and how to build that, because at the time there was that whole like, don't follow this kind of music because it'll like turn you to Satan.
devil.
And, yeah, like all that stuff.
And
right?
those people were burning. They were out in front of his concerts with Bibles, and he was burning Bibles in the concert, selling out in 10 minutes because of that.
Yeah.
Because they were so pissed off. And it's just, you want to make money, just go counter the culture and let everybody know you're doing it. And
that was around the same time that they had to put the disclaimer on Beavis and Butthead not to lay in the road to get ran over by cars. So yeah.
Again, we've thwarted.
We didn't used to have a disclaimer. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead didn't have a disclaimer before.
We've
It's
thwarted our
for America.
Yeah, well, but that's just it. We've thwarted our Darwinist behavior, and we've let the stupid people live. We have to let that happen. Stop with the warnings. Stop with the pads.
When we were kids, we would sneak away. We had a house that we'd go to in Santa Cruz, right? Because we'd go down Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and our family all owned like a house together. And so we'd go down there on like, I don't know, once a month or something like that, just to get the family together. And they had like one of those attic rooms that was like built, but it was like super small. And so the kids would sneak away, and we had like pull the TV into there, and we would go in there and watch like MTV and all that stuff that we weren't supposed to watch. and so that's when we watched Beavis and Butthead, and then they like later on they actually put the disclaimers. So we'd watch like Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy and all that.
Oh, Ren and Stimpy.
It was this order actually. It was Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, and then Aeon Flux came on after.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Ren and Stimpy, man, Pee on the Electric Fence, one of my favorite things.
I just saw the meme where he's like scratching his back, and he's like, "Do it harder," and he's like, it shows him like arcing back and forth and stuff. It was funny as hell. But
Oh, I love
Ren
it.
and Stimpy is so wrong.
Yeah.
No, it's great, man. That's the stuff my children should be watching right now.
Right. It's the stuff everybody should be watching right now.
Hell yeah, it would make us better as a population.
Right?
It was
Yeah.
it was like during this time where there was this like series, there's this time slot at night where like the weirdest stuff would get on, and like there's even some like threads where you can go like look at like some just the strangest things that they would put on when they
Yeah.
didn't have any time slots, and they have all these conspiracies about it, and they have all these like some of them were like these episodes would make absolutely no sense unless you had seen the internet thread about it, which
Yeah,
is
or unless you're high as hell.
insane.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
that'll
Oh,
be-
well, that's why most people watched.
Yeah.
If
Well,
we weren't
then-
watching MTV, we were watching Fear and Loathing Las Vegas.
Yes.
God, that's another crazy. That
Yes.
dude. What is his name? I can't remember his name.
Johnny Depp.
No, the
You're
character
talking about
he
the
plays.
actual person,
Tur-
yeah.
Is it Turner or something?
Yeah, something Turner. He's a
Hunter Turner. He was this
yeah.
crazy, just nutball, and
Well, he was a journalist, right? And
yeah, and he
he
was
was
a
journalist.
big time drug addict. Big
yeah,
time.
but he was a journalist for like the Baja, I think
Yeah.
Baja 500 or something was his
Yeah.
big thing, and him and his lawyer would like travel together, and they did all sorts of crazy stuff.
Dude,
But
he get into trouble.
yeah, I just love because the opening of that movie is him sitting in the bathtub with the toaster. And
Yeah,
he's like, he's like-
toaster bath.
and then Johnny Depp walks out, like walks across the room wearing the alligator tail. Yeah, it's a crazy ass movie.
and-
You know that Fear and Loathing Las Vegas was actually the inspiration for Rango.
Yeah, well, you see the Cadillac in Ringo, like when because
the
he
Cadillac
hits
and
him.
the beach shirt.
Yeah, like Johnny Depp and his lawyer are driving the Cadillac, and Ringo hits like the glass window or whatever, and he's stuck to the Cadillac for a little bit. Yeah, and then he's like, "What is this?" And he's like doing his like crazy character from the movie. Yeah, that's funny.
Dude, not right. It's just not right.
Yeah.
They tied that into a kid's cartoon. Yeah, that's
Right.
just wrong.
That guy was on a whole different level when it comes to his. I mean, he's so creepy. Like drug dealers would be like, "Man, I'm tapped out. I ain't got nothing."
Well,
I'm
'cause
serious. That's the level he was at.
he was doing what was that? It was like synthetic adrenaline. It
Yep.
wasn't it wasn't atropine, but it was like
Norepinephrine or something like that.
yeah, something like that. Or
He was
well,
doing
and then
some crazy shit.
on top of that too, he was doing starts
He-
with an M.
He liked Mexilin.
I can't remember what that was called though. Yeah, it starts with an M. I'm thinking of it right now. Let me look it up.
I got to go take care of the wife. I'll be right back.
Yep, I got you, brother. All right, let's do that.
Meclizine, I think
Meclizine.
is what it was. I don't remember. Anyways, he did like some crazy drug that was like a no, that's not it because meclizine is antihistamine. This is like a let's see what they call this. It's a synthetic adrenaline.
This is like the best like freeze picture for him. Just so every
Oh yes, of all
Like-
time.
yeah, of all time. Like we got to keep that.
So epinephrine was there, and then there's a mescaline. That's what it is. Mescaline. Anyways, yeah, he did some crazy stuff. I don't know if you've never watched that movie before.
Yeah, you're gonna have to close that other window though because it throws up your camera.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Oh.
there it goes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, when I go to another,
When you go to
program,
another
it
screen, it'll close it.
that's
Um,
crazy. But anyways, yeah, and I advise well, I don't advise anybody to do anything illegal, but there's only one correct way to watch Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's perfectly legal, and depending
it
on where
normally
you're at.
it normally involves either sugar cubes or go. Okay, go. It either involves sugar cubes or droplets on your tongue. So yeah, but just saying.
I'm. So, anyways, the Cowboys. Those Cowboys, they sucked this year.
Mhm.
So, and I'm not even going to touch that one.
What?
And we talk about some of the most fucked up shit, and I was
Dude.
like, no, not.
You never accidentally eaten sugar cubes? Come on now.
Dude.
You know, this is a really good hot sauce. Like this is really good. You know, it's
You ever tried that sriracha, Mike?
Yeah. Like, I won't show the label because they're not paying me for it. But you know, it's a good
That's
stuff.
funny.
It's really good. Lord have mercy. So
You know I'll drop anything. It doesn't
yeah,
matter.
I wasn't ready for that. Wasn't ready. Yeah.
Traveler.
So
Traveler's a new thing.
yeah, okay, Traveler. Tell us about Traveler.
So Traveler
Even
is
Lucian wants to know about Traveler.
yeah. So Traveler is considered one of the first
Drugs.
um
I mean, not drugs.
TTRPG drugs, I guess, if you want to call it that. So Traveler is considered one of the first TTRPGs beyond the old school like combat simulation style games that they used to
Okay.
play on the table, right? So, but Traveler is sci-fi, and it was made in 1974. They actually think that Traveler was part of the inspiration to build Star Trek and Star Wars and all that stuff because it had all of that beforehand. It's extremely gritty. So character creation takes 3 to 4 hours. And you can actually get injured and have to get medical bills taken care of and stuff. It used to be the original Traveler, you could actually die during character creation. So you'd be like 3/4 of the way through creating your character, and your character would die, and you have to start all over again. Yeah. So, so they took that away because people are QQing too much. But it's soft, right? People are too soft. So, but yeah. So you do it as a group. You do the character creation as a group, and everybody goes around. They roll the table. They roll together, and what you do is you go through these. It literally, it's such a process that the game, just character creation, has its own flowchart on how to actually do the character creation properly. And so you have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 original careers that you can go through, and each career has 3 assignments that you can choose within the careers. And then in here, like it says start here, and so what you do is you roll 2D, everything's a 2d6 in this game. There are some circumstances where you use a D3, very similar, very seldom though. And to the point to where they actually in the book just say 2D instead of putting a 6 every time. So because they use D6s for everything. So you roll your D6s. You roll them. You can do it 2 different ways, but the book actually says that the original method is you roll 2d6 for each one of your characteristics, which would be like an ability. So your characteristics would be it is strength, dexterity, strength, dexterity, endurance, intellect, education, and social, right? So you go through and you do all this stuff, and after you get that done, you go through another process. I actually have it all up on my screen, but you go through another process afterwards where you do a background, and you determine your background. So you get to pick a certain amount of skills, and there's a set of skills you can pick from. When you do that, it's based off your education modifier, and then also like the amount of skills you get. And then you have a Okay, is it falling off or bleeding? No, you're fine. Go.
There we go.
You're fine. Go. You're fine. Go. Hold on a second.
So
Yeah,
thank you,
there's,
Lucy, for
like-
sending this over.
Yeah, no, like you can like wash out not just once, but like multiple times. You can
All right.
choose a career, fail that career, become a drifter, go back through basic training, specialize, increase skills, survival, fail that, and then I think it's a role mishap table where you go
So if you don't
leave your
pass
career
your
and choose a new one.
so if you don't pass your survival roll, so you first off you have to roll on whether or not you even get accepted into university or the military academy. Then if you pass that, you have to roll on whether or not you even graduate. And then if you get past that, then you have to roll, and you can still pick a career either way, but then you have to roll to see if you even get accepted into the career field that you want to go into. And each one of them have like an intellect roll or an education roll or like whatever it is that you have to roll to it. And so it kind of helps you guide like which direction you want to go. But
Right.
everything is very, it's all done by the dice. Like there's no like setting your character up ahead of time. It's all done by the dice. And so anyways, you do all of that. And then after you get through doing the education side and all of that, you then do your survival roll. If you don't pass your survival, you have to roll a mishap. During the mishap, you can actually get a life event roll that you may have to go roll, and you can actually end up as a prisoner, and you can do a prisoner career. There's all these like directions it'll take you. So, but if you do pass survival, then you get a certain amount of skills, and so you get your skill increase ahead of time. You get your survival roll. You roll an event, which will tell you like you did something, and sometimes it'll be like something good. Sometimes it'll be something like you get a rival or something out of it. Each career that you pick has its own event table that you roll on. Then you roll for advancement after the events. If you succeed, so that would be down below. Right there. So you roll for advancement, and if you succeed, then you increase your rank. And if you increase your rank, then you get whatever that like skill or training or whatever that comes with that rank itself, right? And on top of that, it also allows you to, at the end, when you're done with everything you muster out, you can actually roll on like a benefits table at the end. So there's this whole process that you go through. So anyways, then you start this whole thing over again. And most people will do this 5 to 6 times to get as many skills as possible. But when you hit age 34, you have to start rolling on an aging table, which then tells you if you start to lose like physical or mental characteristics or abilities based off of your age. And for every term that you've done, so every time you go through this process, it's considered a term. For every term you've done, you get a negative modifier. So if you've done 6 terms, when you roll on the aging thing, you have a -6 aging modifier. And there's a whole table on things that'll happen to you, on like what'll happen if you get like a high negative number. That's just character creation. There's literally math that you have to do to jump through space in this game. Like, and if you miscalculate, you can actually turn yourself into like radiation dust, basically. Like you can kill yourself.
This sounds like we're surviving the mathematics. Okay,
Right?
that's what this sounds like. This sounds like I'm telling the story that's handed to me and surviving the math.
But it's super fun because it lines you up with all these weird careers and you would never see. Like I ended up doing a physician, but my physician ended up being like a mad scientist physician because I took like genetics.
No.
I took genetics and robotics and all, and so I was like pairing stuff together and like so anyways. But yeah.
And that's how we get the Borg.
He was actually working on an eye that he was working for the Navy, and
Yeah.
this is part of his background. And he's working for the Navy, and he was replacing the Navy pilot's eyes with this like robotic eye that would tap into the actual like ship itself, the mainframe of the ship. So then they didn't have to have a heads-up display or anything, and they could always like do their calculations on the fly through their brain and
This
stuff. Yeah,
this slips down into Borg so fast. What I'm hearing is that you're responsible for the Borg.
that's right.
It's just you.
But anyways, there's a lot of books. There's multiple solar systems in the game. Like, or not solar systems, universes. There's multiple universes in the game that you can actually go visit and stuff, and like it's all built out already. It's crazy. So
I mean, it sounds like our kind of game.
yeah, no, well,
Even Daddy Bro would like it.
it's just very crunchy. I don't know, but
Mm.
I like crunchy.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to possibly test this out. That
What is
and
it
then-
called?
Traveler.
Okay, I just came in halfway, and I'm like, there's some ageist game that hates old people. Is all I heard.
Well, luckily you don't die anymore in
Oh.
character creation. So
I would hope not.
well, you used to.
If I'm
You
just
used to roll on a survival, and you could actually die during character creation. Character
That
creation
is-
takes 3 to 4 hours, so
why?
because it's that like detailed. It's all by the dice. Like you don't decide what your character does; the dice decides what your character does.
Oh,
You build
God.
your whole background from the age of 18.
Well, I
to
can't play that
42.
game because I suck at throwing
So-
dice.
That's
It's
true.
2d6.
Yeah,
all right.
well, he rolls ones really well. Yeah.
Dude, I'm a one sniper is what I am.
He'll end up either in prison as a rogue or something like that. So
So I'm gonna be somebody's bitch, is what you're saying. I'm not interested in that.
there's actually a whole path for people that get into like the whole like
To be a
pirates
bitch.
and all that stuff. Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah.
There's a path to
Yeah,
bitchdom.
There's a whole
Yeah.
path there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No out, only through.
Well, that's what she said too. So
Oh, I'm not
she
going
was a
there.
he, and Red used
Yeah.
cherry Kool-Aid for lipstick.
Somebody's been making toilet Cavassier again.
Oh man.
Y'all are killing me today.
Hey, that's what we do. That's what we do. That and then what's the Twilight
Twilight
2000?
2000. So Twilight
Yeah.
2000 it still has a lot of very interesting character build. It's very similar. So it's a life path system as well, where you build out kind of like what you've done and where you came from, but it's a lot less intensive. But you basically build out your character, and it's also a dice thing, right? It's a throw of the dice on like what you do. But you are surviving the aftermath of World War III, basically, and you're
luck,
stuck
man.
in Poland.
Why
So
Poland?
because that's where the last stand happened, was between Russia and Poland, because all this was written in 1984 originally, so it was during the Cold War stuff, and they
actually
reason-
thought Poland would be around that long.
well they is Poland and Sweden is like the two countries where this happened, and it's not necessarily that Poland was around that long because it's no longer a country,
Right.
but it's the landmass where all of it like took place basically.
Oh, I get it.
So anyways, the NATO and Americans and all that stuff got dropped into Poland. Everything went to hell. Like most of the Russians got bombed out, most of the Americans got bombed out, and you and your group are like stuck there trying to figure out how to survive.
Awesome.
And you actually have to roll on how much radiation your body has.
Oh,
off the
that's
start.
harsh.
So yeah, and then there's like I was listening to a live play.
We have a
And-
game coming up, don't we?
We do, yeah, on the
Yeah.
30th, I think. Yeah, we have a GM running us through it. But
Speaking
So-
of which, we might actually podcast that. I want
that'd be fun.
That'd be
He has
good
it set
podcast.
up. Yeah, he already has it set up to podcast. So,
Yeah.
in one of the live plays I watched, he sits down next, or a dog comes into the camp. The dog's super friendly. The guy's like, "Oh, I love dogs, where blah blah." The dog sleeps with him overnight, right? And he wakes up in the morning with this like nasty rash and starts puking and stuff, and he gets radiation sickness because the dog is like highly radioactive.
Oh, no.
So yeah, so that's the way this game can go. Yeah, they eat like bear meat, and the bear's radioactive, and they all get sick from it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
Mm.
um,
So if they
anyway,
know how to
saying-
make a tiger counter, come
the
on.
only good thing, like the difference between the like running Traveler, especially for like the the VD4GM for the PTSD side of it, is Traveler is less combat, more like exploration and survival. It does have some combat and stuff, but it's not like the focal point. Whereas there's a lot more combat going on in Twilight 2000, because you're a group of people that have survived being drafted into a war. So
Right.
but yeah. So anyways,
I like it. I like it.
it's just
Um,
different, right? Like, because everybody knows D&D, everybody knows Pathfinder, like, and like that high fantasy is good. There's nothing wrong with it, but sometimes it's nice to have a little break away from like high fantasy.
I'm actually surprised how many people don't know about BattleTech though.
Yeah,
Like
Oh,
BattleTech.
here he
is,
goes.
Yeah,
I know.
hey, that is my game. Like
Listen
I'm
here, mech
sorry.
boy.
That's right. It's Mech Warrior to you. All right.
I told him that there's actually mechs in Traveler, so I assume
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that got him hard.
yeah.
I never mind.
See, I know it. I got him. Got him. Freaking cricket stompers.
Yeah. No. So, anyways, so yeah, it piqued my interest. I won't lie.
I've just been doing a lot of research on different games because not everybody likes high fantasy. So
No, I hear you.
we might be reaching out to other people that want to get together and play other stuff, So,
Right.
so it's good
But
to know
see,
it's out there.
that's a thing though. Like it surprises me on. First off, people that don't like high fantasy games. Here's my counter to it though. If you're playing a game, it's fantasy. It's high fantasy, no matter how you look at it.
Depends on how high I am.
Well, I think the
that's
term
fair.
high fantasy is like there's magic involved and all that stuff, whereas in Traveler doesn't have any magic involved. Like
Typically,
you're a person. You don't have any special abilities other than learning skills that you learn along the way. You don't have any
My
magic.
ADHD is my special power.
Or
Right.
learning skills that build the Starship Enterprise.
But it's still a process of just being a regular human.
Hey, don't be mean to Elon. He's busy, damn it.
I mean, I won't lie. Like that man's gifted, but I mean, it still takes a high level of fantasy to play something like that. Like,
well, I think the high fantasy specifically refers to a kind of magical medieval fantasy.
It's a subgenre of
specifically.
fantasy.
And it's in the anything that takes place in the future is of course sci-fi,
Mhm.
and then there are other niche genres as well.
So the 5 or 6
that I've
the 5 or 6 I've landed on that state that contribute well to what we're trying to do with the like playing games for PTSD help and stuff. The number one thing is you want a lot of player agency, which means you have to have a very detailed character build in order to make that happen. And so, of course, D&D falls into that. Pathfinder, but then you also have
Starfinder.
You have Starfinder and stuff. But a lot of people are like, Starfinder is just D&D in space.
Yes, it is.
And then you have Traveler, which is obviously like what we just went through. There's a ton of character creation in that. And then Cyberpunk Red is supposed to be very like player agency driven. It's also a life path system. And then Twilight 2000. But the thing you're driving into Twilight 2000 is that you're getting into more of like the combat side, which might trigger certain things. So there's a few interesting ones out there, but some of these games I just didn't.
Mech Warrior.
They just weren't on my radar. You know what I mean? So I started.
And yes, I'm not talking about. I am talking about BattleTech, but there are two different genres for BattleTech. So there's BattleTech, and then there's Mech Warrior. Mech Warrior is the character-driven side, where it's all about how your character is played out.
Right. Robot boners. Got it.
Yeah.
He's
It's
so
stompy robots. All right, I like
I
Gundam.
assume in between his snoring, like all you hear is like BattleTech. Like he comes out. Like,
Yeah.
Tim, no. I'll show you. Timberwolf. Yeah, that's right. Ebon Jaguar.
Dirty.
Mislinks. That's right.
Yeah.
Clan. It's
I'll
all
be right back.
Uh
All
oh.
right.
It's a children alert.
Yeah. I'll
Children.
give him his privacy there. Everybody. Nasty birds. You guys are trying
So
to
did
check
you-
out what he's doing over there.
So did you get into Armored Core then?
Dude,
Like Armored Core 6?
okay.
Like the Armored Core
Let me
6?
let me tell you
God,
about
don't get
Armored
him
Core.
started.
Xbox
Wait.
lovers around the world. Okay. That was me. I was definitely one of those guys. Armored Core with you had 136 buttons all laid out with 2 different joysticks, one for your throttle, one for your
Oh my
actual
God.
control. Yeah.
136.
And you had every button did something different.
It's not for the faint of heart. That's
It's
for
not.
sure.
It's really not. And you have to memorize what each button does. They're
Nah,
not
you have to
labeled.
memorize. I don't memorize shit
Well,
because I'm
that's
stupid.
fair. That's fair. And
I-
guess what?
Listen,
Speaking of Armored Core, you know that they're coming out with a new one?
there's no way you can figure out how to map every key on this keyboard and more. There's no way.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
there is.
Yes, there is.
I don't believe it.
You got to
Yes,
be a
there is.
special kind of stupid, but it can be done
Special kind of gifted.
if you want to call it that. I call it stupid. You call it gifted. Whatever.
Hey, you know what?
Sorcery. What?
Some of us have the abilities of Elon, just not in a money-touristic, all right, fashion.
There's
We look
only
at-
there's
we
only
look at
one
it as
game
special.
where I've gone beyond the keyboard for mapping stuff, and I only did that because it was too hard to map it onto the keyboard in my brain. There's only one game, and I still don't think it's an exception to this.
If it makes you feel better, I don't map any games like that. I don't key map anything ever.
So,
You just learn from the guide.
I just suck it up and go.
I know some heretical people who will remap every single game to, instead of using WASD and D, they use ESDF.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, because your pinky's free. Your pinky
Oh,
is
I
free,
get
and
it.
yeah,
I
so-
understand the reasoning. I just think it's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, it's the same thing. 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. Got it. Now, this is why I use controller. Yay!
That's you're not mapping anything with that.
You can, but I'm not.
Okay.
I don't want to.
What do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The joysticks. 9,
And then
10,
you
11,
can
12.
then you can do the D-pad, and you can actually do it in a reverse mode and flip the other side too. So you got a bunch.
Yep.
You can map them
Well,
all.
some people actually have they have like buttons on the grips.
Mhm.
Oh,
They have
good
levers
lord.
on the grips. It's insane.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
That's what I
excessive.
got.
I can't play with the levers on the grips.
Mm.
I held one of those controllers once, and I can't do it.
Yeah. So Armored Core, though, they're coming out with a new one, and to actually get the same setup, but for PC, is like $500.
Which Armored Core are you talking about? Because I'm talking about Armored Core 6.
Yeah. No, they have a new Armored. Hold on, new Armored Core that's coming out, being released. So Destiny 2, the actual code writers for Destiny 2 are taking over for the new Armored Core.
That is some really good news. Those guys are good.
So
Like all of the original Halo people were like, oh my god, influential.
yeah, exactly. Armored Core 4, Fires of Rubicon releases. It was supposed
It's
to be
Armored Core
released
6.
August. Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That one was released on August 25th. That's not the newest one, because I just saw a
Armored Core 7?
pre-release. Yeah, I just saw a pre-release for it.
FromSoft teases Armored Core 7.
Yeah.
That's from February 22nd.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, so they don't have a release date yet, but it will be open world, and
Yes.
yeah, there's a lot going into this. I'm so excited for it. Like Gundam and mechs and stuff like that. That is my groovy spot.
I usually do not like the big like stompy mech robots.
Uh-huh.
But Armored Core has a special place in my heart.
But it's Gundam. And like if you look at
I don't like Gundam anime or any of that stuff, but Armored Core, yes please.
Yeah.
As much Armored Core as you can give me.
And so
all of it.
it's funny though, because Armored Core follows more of the Gundam side, whereas if you look at Mech Warrior and BattleTech, does not follow that flying around aspect where it's the Chinese anime essentially,
right?
Because that's what Gundam is. It's Chinese anime. That's where it all originated from, and Armored Core follows that. It follows it almost to a T, but puts a very Americanized version spin on it.
The way, just from playing, I played some of the older Armored Cores, but from playing Armored Core 6, what it makes me feel like is that they still kind of have that feeling to it, but they toned it in to make the gameplay as solid as possible.
Oh yeah, it's almost like
Because-
Metal Gear Solid.
right? And
Yeah.
so I think they like the fantasy of like mecha and all that stuff from the animes and whatever. It's a nice thing that completely blows gameplay out of the water.
Right.
It doesn't transfer so well, and so they had to do something.
Right.
And I think that there was like one exception. Somebody figured out how to get a better feel for the mecha like genre and not have it completely destroy the gameplay experience. And it was I knew somebody in the private beta, and they announced it like recently. I'll have to find it again, but it was
I will
they had
definitely touch that, Jesus. I'll touch that in a moment.
they had
What are we? Who are we touching?
We're touching Jesus and
I
his
don't think so,
notice.
Scooter.
That's right.
Oh, Warhammer.
Warhammer. Yeah, he wants
That's
to talk
what I
about
call it. That's what I call it. It's a Warhammer. Let me tell you.
that.
Woo! Never mind. Sorry, wrong,
right.
wrong game.
Sit down, Thor. Sit down. Oh, good Lord. But yes, no, I 100% agree with you, Lucian. It is what they've been able to do to the genre is amazing. I love it. BattleTech still holds a very near and dear place in my heart, just because of to me it's set in more of a reality base, and you're capable of relating to it a lot better. I cannot see a 100-ton battle mech flying around at Mach 10 and dodging bullets and other objects. I just can't, like, in reality, I can't see that. That's why I think BattleTech where BattleTech is actually a lot more realistic. It's set in realistic tones.
Right.
Where, a 100-ton Atlas, when a 100-ton Atlas is throwing a punch, it's in slow-mo, but it hits you for 100 tons. So it's putting its weight behind it. We do have, look who's back with us.
Yeah,
Mech's talking robot nonsense.
Yes,
mech's not fast, but they heavy. Oh God, physics takes over, man.
So and that's what I love about BattleTech. Like it plays into physics really well, and it makes sense to me. So, and if you don't know, like, I was one of those really special nerds, yes, and I will call myself a special nerd that was taking college course geometry, math, and English.
Oh, that's cute.
In high school.
Okay.
So,
when you had explained BattleTech to me, and then I was reading through like the Traveler stuff, like reading through the core book itself, and then looking at some of their core, because they have like, I forgot how many, like 14 or 15 core books, and then they have another like 30 something like books that do just space, and then they have adventures and campaigns and all that. But they have a book on nothing but like robotics, and they have a book on nothing but like certain like jump drives, and they have a book on nothing about like all that stuff is very like detailed, right? To
Right.
your point, like what you're saying with the MechWarrior is like it's very detailed information.
Hmm.
I don't know. I've never played MechWarrior, so I don't know if they have that level of detail across the game, but yeah, like literally when you play that character that's in charge of making the jump happen for the ship and you miscalculate, you can kill the whole crew.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So
Whereas, and like in BattleTech, because if your mech, first off, your mech has to have jump jets. It has to have the proper amount of jump jets, and it has to have the proper size jump jets for your weight class. So if you are a heavy mech running light mech jump jets, you're not jumping. So you're gonna
Oh yeah,
hover
that's
about this far off the ground, and that's it.
that's the tyranny of the rocket equation right
Yeah.
there. Oh gosh,
So
not fun.
yeah,
So you think you're a math nerd, eh?
I mean,
I was doing differential calculus at 16, so bite me. How about that, tough guy?
and for that, we'll have a good night. You guys. So no, I was taking college algebra, college calculus, college geometry with.
It's all a waste of time, by the way.
I know it is. It all is realistically, but
Unless you're learning, unless you're a lawyer or a doctor, you're wasting your damn time. Sorry, I don't buy it. You can read a book and learn just as much as you need to if you go to college.
yeah.
And there may be a couple computer science programs that are worth going to, but most of them suck.
Hey, I got college credits out of it, so that's all
He's going, yeah, you know, because you did them.
the only thing I can say
I
with
used those
that,
for study hall. They were so fun. All right. I did
Yeah.
more work from other classes in those courses than anything else. People were so mad at me, but they couldn't do anything because I got good grades.
my
Yeah.
biggest push on people going to school is it allows you to see other, like especially like your basics when you do your undergrad, and you get a little taste of all the different types of like what you could do, and so a lot of people aren't exposed to some of that stuff, right? So like
No,
you
I
aren't
get it.
exposed to sociology, you aren't exposed to psychology, you aren't exposed to
I-
like all that stuff, right? And so it's like, okay, these things exist, and if one of them sparks your interest, well, hey, this might open up a new door for you. You weren't
That's true.
expecting.
Just
So-
as long as you understand things like sociology and psychology and anthropology,
Mhm.
unless you're getting a PhD, the phrase that pays is "Would you like fries with that?" Because that's what you're qualified to do.
What's the old? It's post hole digger. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the reality. And if you're willing to put the time in, so I have a definite philosophy, and I keep in mind I was a college professor for 5 years. I taught graduate school. I'm not opposed to people going to school because I think people need to learn, but they're not teaching anymore. They're just not. They're indoctrinating now, and that's the problem.
Well, I mean, part of my issue is that it's like, okay, well, I want to make money and have a successful life, and so I need this magic piece of paper
That says you
and
know
I need
something.
to, and I need to jump through all of these hoops to do this. But then you look at the actual value of college, and you're like, okay, I haven't used any of these skills that I used to get my diploma in
Yep.
like forever. And so it's like, okay, so where's the actual value of college? The only reason anybody's still going to college is because nobody wants to reinvent the curriculum.
Well, it's not just that. It's a power dynamic. There's the reason the curriculum's the way it's built is because there's a power base for it. The other thing to keep in mind too, and I get into this argument all the time, and I'm going to hurt some people. You ready? I hope you got your big boy panties on.
Here it
So,
comes.
if you're one of those super smarty pants or those second generation people who went to an Ivy League school and you think you're so much smarter than everybody else, pumpkin, guess what, bitch? I used the same textbooks, had a PhD professor, and I paid a third of what you paid to go to school. Who's the smart one now, motherfucker?
The only thing I can say is like if you're going after an MBA, there's certain careers that schools make a difference, because as soon as I got my MBA from Syracuse, my doors like changed, and that wasn't even considered like a super high end school, but
No, but
it's a well known business.
right, and but
Right.
You know,
and what
so-
you're getting at, and this is true, and this is true of the Ivy League. What it produces is a channel of opportunity because they go after like-minded people, and part of it is human nature because we don't like things that are different.
No. Well,
We're
and-
birds of a feather type stuff.
I don't
And the
think
other
that
part
we
of
can-
the go ahead.
I don't think that we can accurately assess value of things.
Mhm.
I
I
can
don't-
actually
yeah.
assess that if you go to an Ivy League school, you're a dumbass.
No.
I can assess that, and I'll tell you why I can. A lot of my PhD professor friends are all Ivy League dickheads, and I say that with all the love in my heart. I love these people, but they're dickheads.
And the only other part behind it is the relationships you can build with specific people that are in specific social standings
Yep.
when you go through a school like that.
And keep in
that's
mind
part
too, a
it.
lot of these people are elitist assholes who, mommy and daddy, they're trust fund babies,
Mhm.
and mommy and daddy have no time for them and don't really love them, and that's why they send them to boarding school in the first damn place.
Now,
Have a good time with that.
I can chime in on this just by the fraction amount of
Okay.
actual college time that I actually went to. So first, there's two parts to this. Part one is I have my culinary degree, right? I went to
I like
school.
food.
Yeah, I love food. Like that's my thing. It's a good thing. I'm chubby. Like there's a reason for that. Never trust a skinny chef. No matter I
Yeah.
understand.
Yes.
People are like, oh, health conscious and all that. Never trust a skinny chef. And I'm trying to get skinny again. So don't trust me either. I'll put myself in that. So, but there's the second part to this is in Iowa, when I lived in Iowa, in Des Moines Community College, Des Moines Area Community College. Sorry about that. It's called DMACC, DMACC. Okay. Now, if you live in the area of Des Moines and you have I had an associate's degree. Every job in Des Moines was opened up to me. It is location. It's location. That's what it is. And it
Local
re-
reputation.
yeah, it's that's all it is. So if you go to a community college in the location that you plan on staying in, everybody's going to hire you in that location. Versus if you like, I go to DMACC. I went to DMACC. I'm now in Texas.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, and people are like, I don't even know what the fuck that school is.
It's a Big
Like,
Mac.
Yeah,
Like, did you grow potatoes?
yeah.
Oh no, it's Idaho.
Corn-
Sorry.
Corn and soybeans.
They're into soy production out there
Yeah,
and kissing cousins.
and realistically, I know that Iowa's known as the corn state, but they're actually not. They're actually second to
that Nebraska?
Nebraska's the
Nebraska's
corn
the
shuckers.
corn state.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're another bunch of cousin kissers.
Yeah. So soy production in Iowa is off the charts.
Kissy, kissy.
Right. I did promise Jesus that I would touch base on this.
Warhammer.
Yeah, on Warhammer.
That's what I call it. Yes.
Yeah. So I will be 100% honest, Jesus. I have played about that much of any Warhammer.
I played Warhammer for years.
I've played Dark Heresy. Dark Heresy was fun.
Yeah.
I like being vampires. Yay! I'm gonna stab you in the face.
So the most that I played, the most that I ever played of Warhammer was actually back when, I don't know if anybody's ever going to know this. If you know this, fantastic. But the console system 3DO by Panasonic, that was it. They actually had a game for Warhammer where it was almost like Wolfenstein and all those games back in the day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I hear it too.
Not the dirty word. Wolfenstein has dirty bad Germans in it.
Yeah. So, Wolfenstein and Duke Nukem and
I
those,
love me some Duke Nukem.
right. Me too. But so it was based in that. It was called Space Marine.
Yeah,
Um,
that was back in the day.
yeah, and that was the most I ever played. Now I did try recently downloading from Steam the chess version of Warhammer, which I absolutely love. Um,
It's
then
gotten really complicated, and
it
I
really,
think unnecessarily so.
well, there's just
Uh,
so much to it, like, and it
well,
branches so far out.
that's what's made it complicated.
It-
Because it comes down to how are you going to play? Are you going to play? Are you going to be good? Are you going to be bad? Are you going to be in the middle?
Yep.
That really determines a lot of the. See, like I always do the vampires because I like to kill everything, and I just don't care. I don't. If you're like good, I want to kill you.
Is that like the necromongers from?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, okay. You know exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna mess you up because I may be, I may have some weaknesses, but I'll tell you right now, that those guys are bad.
Yeah.
Very angry people. And it fits me well. That's
Nice.
when you you play that song, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, and you just go to work.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, it tracks. Let me tell you.
Oh Lord, have mercy. So, yeah.
Do you play? Does he play? Does Jesus? Does he play Warhammer?
I'm guessing so because he asked about it. Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay game.
Yeah, it's a good game. The problem with it is it comes down to, do you get in? Are you a lore person? I am not a lore guy. I don't care about lore. I just want to kill things.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Warhammer. There's a lot of indiscriminate killing if you want it. It's just how you set up your tactic, whatever tactics you're using or how you set your team up, and if you're like me and you set little traps of goodiness, make it look like I'm weak here. Come and get me. See what happens to you. I got something hiding in the dark. Poof. And it ain't a skeleton, bitch.
He's been working on that voice for a little while. You could tell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
See, he knows. He knows.
Yep. Yes, I love the
so there are people like us, and we're special people, right?
Yeah.
It's all about the indiscriminate killing. That's a feature, not a bug, right? and then there's the other side of the house, and that's where you have people who are really lore driven, and I respect them, though I enjoy killing them even more because they tend to be annoying.
I mean, they have to be like mutually exclusive, though.
Well, but they're not. No, and you can be both, and I get it. But if you're a lore person around me, I'm targeting you because I take great pleasure in burning things to the ground. It's much more fun to me because they get really those people get hostile when you take them down. They're like, what? Wait, but I don't know. The lore said, I don't care what the lore says. I say, this is what I say. Come and get it, bitches. And
everything is now going upside down and sideways because I said so.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it's within the rules of the game, and I'm smarter than you are, and I can play that little tricky trap thing I can do. Sucks to be you. I'm sorry that I'm really good at stuff like, I'm good at setting traps, and I'm good at thinking 3 or 4. I played a lot of chess as a kid. Yeah, so I'm always wherever you are, I'm probably 4 moves ahead of you. I know where you're going, and I'm just waiting for you. Come and get my bell, baby.
We're gonna have to sit down and play some chess then, because that is one of my games right there.
I was USCF rated top flight for 15 years. I played at the University of Pittsburgh. I was its #1 seed for 5 years up there. So come and get some. You really want to go? I'll tell you what. I'll make it fair. I'll play left-handed. Okay.
Yeah, as sure as if that's gonna do anything.
It doesn't change it.
It's my pimp hand. I won't get my strong hand. I'll just use my pimp hand.
But I love chess. Like chess is.
I'm a chess nerd. Yeah. I'm a chess nerd.
Yeah, same.
Have you ever played Go?
I've tried. I'm not that smart. Go is an extremely complicated game.
I tried to learn it. And
you gotta have a special brain. Yeah, for those who don't know, Go is one of the oldest games probably in the world. It's also probably one of the most strategic games. And the best players in the world, what are they all? They're all Chinese or Korean or something like. I can't remember where. I can't remember if it's Korean. I'm sorry. I don't.
But
I don't mean to offend any particular group of people. I don't remember where it's from. I think it's China. But
I think it has Asian descent.
yeah,
I'll
it's
go look it up.
definitely it's either
Yeah,
Korean or Chinese.
It's Asian.
Yeah, I know it's Asian. I just don't remember which group. And there is a difference. They don't like each other too much, so we try to be nice.
I have played it.
15
I just don't remember too much about it.
548 BCE is the earliest record of Go.
Yeah, it's old. It's really old.
Real old.
And it's a crazy hard game because the idea is just basically to take over the board.
It has names
China.
it has names in Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Tibetan names, Chinese.
Yeah.
It was
So
invented in China more.
It was
than
there we go.
2,500 years ago.
And keep in mind now, this game, the level of it doesn't seem like a really hard game because of the basic philosophy is take over the game. Take over the board. That's all you're trying to do. But there's a way to do it. So there's a square in the middle of the game, right? That if you control that square, basically you're going to win the game. That's the goal. And the methodology that you have to use to get there is really complicated, and you've got to be stupid smart. In fact, artificial intelligence has used Go as a marker to test whether or not AI has really arrived yet. And up until I think it was a couple years ago, the best Go players in the world couldn't be beaten by the computer, but now the computer can finally beat them. So muscle up, Buttercup. It's here.
Oh, Skynet is real.
Britannica says 2356 is when they can actually date it, but they believe that it goes back to the second millennium BCE. So
2,500 years. That's a long time ago. Oh, I think you muted yourself there, Daddy Bro.
For such a simple game, it gets
I'm good.
So complicated.
Yeah, it is a stupid complicated game. It's fun to watch, but I can't play it. It hurts my brain too much. It's kind of I hate to say this, and it's nothing like cribbage, but cribbage is the same way. A card game with a bunch of pegs hurts my brain. I like cribbage because of the strategy involved, but man,
my grandfather taught me how to play cribbage.
If you don't know what you're doing in cribbage, you're gonna get your butt kicked pretty hard. It's not a good day for you.
Right.
It's been a long time since I played it, but that was something they played because he was born in 1912, something like that, or whatever. So, anyways, it was popular in his era.
Yeah. But, so he remembers the Great War, does he?
He actually herded cattle from Kentucky to Minnesota or something like that before there was fences. Yeah. So.
Before there was fences. Back in my day, we didn't have fences. What?
Before they had state signs. What are you talking about?
I know, right?
Where are we at? I don't fucking Joe State.
He was German. They changed their last name because it was very similar to they changed their last name to Wiederholt with a T, but it originally had a D in it, and one of the high-ranking German soldiers was a Wiederholt. Yeah, so they changed their last name.
Yeah,
just by one letter, but still.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to be associated with those Germans.
Come on. What's it doing?
It's saying, hello, goodbye.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there you
fixed it. I fixed it.
They have ways of making you talk.
Okay. So all right. We have touched base on games throughout this whole thing.
Yes. Games are good.
I love that. There is something that I'm going to bring up though.
Oh God, here he goes.
It's only one thing.
You're not gonna bait me tonight. I'm not gonna.
No, I'm not baiting. I'm not baiting.
Next.
So it's close. It's close. Very close.
Robot boner.
A little bit. So the F-47.
The Gen 6 jets that the
Yes.
Chinese say they already have one of. Yeah, piss on them.
Yeah.
You can't catch our jets. Okay, we don't need to.
Well, we've already been flying them for years. Come to find out.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, we're like, oh, okay. And so I'm sorry, but they are beautiful to
Well, it's cool that they have like their own. What do they call that? A wing. They have their own wing of drones that fly with them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
got
not
that
cool.
crazy.
Actually, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
No, it's actually fantastic if you think about it.
It's fantastic till they unleash it on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's bad for them. It's good for us.
It could
I'm
be.
okay with this.
I'm worried some hacker kid's gonna find a way to get into the software and do some naughty things.
I mean, it's 2025. What do you expect?
Oh, I expect it's already happened. To be honest,
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm almost 100% sure it's already happened. And if not, I'll be going to DEF CON soon. I'm sure they're gonna have some dumbass do it.
What
I think
was
there's
it?
a lot more to all those drones that we were seeing and all that stuff that just all of a sudden disappeared and nobody hears of anymore. Yeah, so.
Well, in fairness, most of that stuff was probably the oceanic people taking surveys. That's my understanding, because I made some inquiries into some friends of mine in very high places.
I won't publicly put out there where you work at, but
Yeah, please don't.
isn't where you work at know about 90% of what's going on?
No, us? No,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
We just finance it all. No big deal. Of course we know. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I personally don't. I'm not on one of those teams, thankfully, because I don't like people in dark suits coming to get me. But there are there's a lot going on right now, and a lot of people you give it 5 years, and I'm telling you, things are going to change in a way you can't even imagine right now. One of the things I used to teach in my class, right? I used to teach my students that they're in their 20s, right? And I would tell them that by the time you have a child, right, and that child's old enough to drive a car, they legally won't be allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Self-driving cars are going to come, and when they do, they're going to force convert people. They're going to, because it's safer, and insurance rates will go down. Things will be a little bit safer, less problems, hopefully. But there's always going to be that one redneck who's driving his truck in Iowa, drinking a couple beers, having a good old time with Nanny Poo. And there's always going to be one of them that we're going to have to look out for. But those are the kinds of things, technology-wise,
doesn't actually change anything. The guy in Idaho the guy in the middle of nowhere doesn't actually change anything. It's like already a constant state of being.
Whoopsie. He's a dark hole of doll is what. Anyway, there's a lot coming down the like. I know we were talking about healthcare earlier a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
In about 5 years, that's all going to change.
Good.
AI is going to change it all. Mark my word.
I just hope that we don't get into the same situation where we are today, because
we won't.
I pray we don't.
See, here's what these
I doubt that we will get out of it.
No, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So here's what these dum-dums don't understand. These control freaks, and I'm looking at you Illuminati types out there. You know who you are, pumpkin. Not to put my tinfoil hat on or anything, but those people who believe they're above others and that they're going to run the show, I got news for you. AI is going to kick you right in the balls. And you're not smart enough to control it because your name's not Elon.
But wait, does this play into the 77-year paradox?
It could.
Because the whole theory behind the 77-year paradox is that, like, the decline of memory. That's
what we've been doing for 40 years already.
I know we've been doing that already.
Think about it. Think about it this way, right? When you were a kid, how many people's phone numbers did you have memorized?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. Like at least 30. At
least 0 as a kid. Well, you didn't get out much.
Lucian, how old are you?
I'm like 29.
Oh, you're.
Yeah. See, that's why.
What do you expect from me?
We're talking before the cell phone.
Yeah, before
rotary phones.
Yeah,
I had.
We had like one. There's only one phone number I ever needed. Anybody else's phone number, I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to call you. I don't want to take shit.
Right.
Fucking talk to me. Fucking
I know
get
I
out
had
of my house
addresses and
talk to
phone
me.
numbers, and like I
Yep.
had, and some of my friends, I knew multiple lines to their homes because
Yep.
they had
And do you
business
know?
lines and stuff
And
like
do you know?
that.
Do you know? Do you know why we don't do that anymore? Because they've dumbed us down.
Yeah.
Because they put that electronic leash in your pocket. We call it a cell phone.
Mm.
And you don't have to know it now until your ass goes to jail and they pull away your cell phone from you.
Right.
And you need to phone a friend to get your ass out of jail. And you're like, I don't remember the number. So my suggestion to you is memorize a couple numbers just in case.
Mhm.
Okay. Do that for yourself because you never know when you're going to end up in jail. Trust me. I know from firsthand experience. It's always pleasant. Gotta love my law enforcement friends.
Yeah.
Please
But-
don't hurt me.
But the whole thing about the 77-year paradox is like the presumption of memory and the decline of memory.
Right.
Where essentially it states that older people have a decline in what they are prospectively seeing because they don't fully understand it.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
The older you get, the less you understand of what's going on.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
I would
right.
argue that is not true with all people.
It's not, and I agree with you because if you look at Donald Trump, I'm pretty sure he's well aware of everything going on around him, and he's almost 80 years old.
Yeah, well,
So,
Unlike the other guy.
yeah.
Captain Poopy Pants.
So, I mean, it is a documented paradox that I actually wrote a paper on. And I had to think about it, and I'm like, wait, I've heard of this before. Like when we started this conversation, but yeah, it's the 77-year paradox.
Yeah, but the thing, what's happening is we are outsourcing our ability to remember things.
Right.
We are outsourcing our ability even to learn things.
Mhm.
Yes.
And now the generation coming up, they have short attention spans. They're not they don't adjust well to their surroundings. They are all anxious and jittery and jumpy, and they have social anxiety, and they don't know how they don't have the nonverbal coping skills that we grew up with because they weren't forced to go outside as a kid and play in the woods.
Which
I
I have a problem with that right now.
Right.
The 7-year-old.
Yep.
It goes. I think it even goes and beyond that. Because you look at there was this thing that they called like the ADHD epidemic, and they had this giant map over time and all this other stuff, and it was the most bizarre thing in the world because it literally got worse. They had to start measuring it basically as a proximity to Washington,
Yes.
as to like how that's how often you would get prescribed like ADHD medication, depression, anxiety, and it's only gotten worse over
It's
time.
been amplified. Yes.
And now it's we have this culture in like it seems that we're just like, oh, you have a problem, let me
Here's a
give you
pill.
this life-changing drug
Yep.
that will do God knows what.
Yep.
And come out and it'll fix your problem. And
I had an
not realizing
ADHD
that-
subscription. It's called a Switch.
Get off of it. Find any way to get off of it. That's my opinion.
No, I said it was
I
a
was on-
Switch.
It's
That
called
was
a-
my yeah.
He doesn't know what you mean by switch. A
Oh,
switch
yeah.
is a
Yeah.
stick they
A
beat you
Switch
with.
is
where you
my
had to
mom
go
would
outside and
Yeah,
pick
and-
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
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 pick the stick to be beat with. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
'cause, I mean, I was
Don't
on
pick
it.
the thin one either, because they'll do Zorro the Gay Blade in your butt. That's what my dad used to do. He'd make a big Z, and I'd be like,
And don't be a smartass and bring in the big huge one either, because they
Yeah.
won't beat you with it. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
because they'll get a 2x4 and really go to work. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Anyways.
But this is this is the thing is,
This is the generational gap, though, right?
and this is by design, just so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why we're dismantling the Department of Education.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
This
I
is
mean,
exactly why we're dismantling the craziness that's going on right now. Because for 40 years we've put up with this nonsense, and look at where it's gotten us.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, I think about what some of the, at least my own experience, because I was on ADHD and all these other some of these medications for like
Mhm.
15 years. I still haven't recovered from it.
No, you won't. It's
And it's
altered
like,
your. It's altered you.
yeah, because it's like I have to explain every new doctor I go to. I have to explain to them that it takes me 2.5 days to get hungry, and
That's
it's
awesome.
like
I wish
it's
I had that problem.
it's a huge problem because I don't. I will just be going throughout the day. And I'm like, oh, I ran out of energy.
Oh,
Done.
well, that's not good.
I will just crash, and I will not see it coming. And
Right.
so
You know what you
I
need to
have
do? I have a solution for you. Smoke some pot. That'll fix that shit right up.
He's not wrong. It'll have you staring at the refrigerator for an hour going,
take you a gummy or do yourself a favor. Don't do a gummy, full
No.
gummy. Take a half a gummy. Okay.
No.
'Cause if you take a whole gummy, you probably won't be able to get out of your chair. But what
Right.
you do is you have someone you trust. You tell them, "Hey, I'm taking half a gummy. I need you to take my dumb ass to Taco Bell right now."
Right.
So that by the time you're at Taco Bell, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And you can say, "I want one of everything on the menu," and it's the best food you've ever eaten in your entire life.
Or you give him a gummy and put him in a hotel next to a Buc-ee's.
Oh
yeah,
God.
there you go. Speaking of which, you brought this up, Daddy Bro, and
Oh God, here he comes.
So I was known for smoking pot when I was in high school.
No, I
And
would never
so-
guess that.
But I didn't tell my parents about it.
I didn't inhale.
Yeah, I didn't tell my parents.
Did you assume they didn't know?
Yeah. So my mom, when I was like 20. I was probably Lucian's age actually, where I was telling my mom, yeah, I used to smoke pot, and that's why I would mow the yard almost every day. And she was like, "Oh, we knew." And she goes, "Let me tell you about what I did one time when I was smoking pot." I was like, "Oh, Mom, I can't wait to hear this story." So my mom tells me that her and her friend, when she was working at a company called Roadhawk. Now, if you guys don't know, Roadhawk went under about 20 years ago. Got bought out by another company down in Mexico, car financing company. And so, if you guys know that what company, that's cool. Keep it to yourselves though. Um, so her and one of her girlfriends from Roadhawk were smoking pot, and they went on their lunch break, and they're like, "Oh, let's go to Sonic." And they get to Sonic, and they're stoned out of their mind. And her and my mom were talking about how they were giggling and trying to figure out what they wanted to eat. And my mom goes, "Fuck it, let's just split the bill and let's get one of everything off the menu."
Oh, no.
Good times.
So she said for $366, she got one of everything off of the menu at Sonic.
Nice. That's a lot
Oh
of
my
money.
God.
with different variations of like the ice cream, chili cheese
Oh.
tots, chili tots.
They were so
cheese
sick
tots.
after that.
Oh,
I
my
bet.
mom said that they ate like
The
maybe
car must have been a mess too, because there's no way they had enough cup
Yeah.
holders in that car.
so yeah.
That
Like,
car ain't going nowhere because there are things balanced in that car in precarious situations.
My-
No.
my mom told me this story and I was rolling, but it made me feel better because I'm like, I really thought I was keeping a good secret from you guys.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Stoners always think they're being secretive, and they're sitting there giggling like a dumbass, and we're like, "We know you're stoned, jackass. Stop it."
I still to this day remember, like, I walked in on my 16th birthday. I had a bunch of friends over, and there was like a cul-de-sac. We lived up in the foothills, and there was a cul-de-sac everybody would go to. It was way out in the middle of nowhere, and we'd smoke weed and all that stuff. But I came back, and like I go in the house, and I grab a tub, the big tubs of ice cream you get, like
Oh, yeah.
so like the Neapolitan or whatever it is, like it's
Yeah.
So and I'm
Back
talking
when
the
they
big
did
like
the
5-gallon,
big
yeah.
tub.
Yeah. So anyways, I walk in and I grab that, and I grab like 6 spoons, and I don't grab any bowls, and I like walk out the door, right? And my dad was like, "Hey," and I was like, "What?" And I turn around, and he's like, "How much does that stuff go for now?" And I like look at the tub of ice cream and look at him, and I was like, "I don't know. He bought it for like $5 at Costco or something." He's like, "I'm not talking about the ice cream."
So messed up, man.
Oh,
So
never
messed up.
forget that. But he went to Woodstock. He went to Woodstock and all that stuff. He's
Oh yeah, hip ace. Gotta love
one
him.
of those guys.
Right.
He had hair down to like his waistline and all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, look, I
All
gotta jet, guys. I gotta get to my.
I was actually about to say it's about time to close it off. We're not gonna stay as late tonight. I got some things I gotta help out with.
He's got to take a gummy and go to bed.
No. But so all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's theys, thems, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. to
Two-spirited
me.
penguins.
Yeah. You guys take care of yourselves. You know, if you're thinking about doing something bad to yourself, don't do it. Contact one of us. You can contact any of us. You can even contact Lucian. Lucian would help you.
He's
He would
like,
talk to
what?
you. Yeah. He doesn't. He
He
doesn't
won't
know
eat anything, but he'll call. He'll talk to you.
Yeah.
I'll listen.
Yeah. He's actually a great guy, though. We're really glad that he came and joined the network. Greatly appreciate that. Of course, we got Daddy Bro down below me. That's
Mama.
everybody's favorite Navy guy, and then everybody's least favorite.
The hate is so real.
There he is. He's over there.
It doesn't bother me. I don't know why. Like he hasn't gotten to the point where like he doesn't understand it. Doesn't.
He's
I don't care.
high speed,
Like,
man. That's why.
The thing is
correct.
I understand that being on your show as a unicorn that people never get to see is a big deal. So I show up. So you know.
So it's My Little Pony for him. Is that what it is?
That's right.
Taste the rainbow, motherfucker. Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Oh God. Y'all
So,
are messed
all
up.
right. With that, Lucian, you got anything you want to say before we hit the road?
No, I'm good.
Oh, Jen-
No. Okay. All right. Let's leave it down to the 6-footer over there.
988-1.
That's
Tax 1. Press 1.
All right.
exactly.
And always remember, Daddy Shark.
Oh God, stop it! The portal opens at my house. I'm going to be very pissed off at you. I'm warning you, guys.
All right.
Guys, make sure you get yourself something good to eat. Get yourself something good to drink. Hug the people in your life because you never know how long you're going to have them. And last but not least, if you need help, get help. Getting help does not make you weak. In fact, makes you strong. Take care of yourselves, and I'm out of here.